Hello everyone, I'm Pascal Victor Alpha 2 Papa Victor. Today I will be demonstrating how to install the Kenwood TS-990 remote software, and I will be showing you how to set up your remote station. So here I have a little tablet, which is a Windows 10, which is not great to control the radio because the screen is too small to get all the commands that there is in the software. But I will just do the demonstration that I can do remote control of this of my TS-990 with this little tablet. Now you can hear that the audio is working as well. So the audio you're hearing is directly on the tablet. And I can raise the volume of the radio directly. This can be disabled, by the way, in the software. But listen, then I can raise and put down the volume. But the audio you're receiving is actually on the little tablet. I will show you the software, and I will change here on the main VFO of the radio, and you will see that the frequency is currently changing. So this is the complete control of the TS-990. You can also have, hold on a second, I'll get the band scope to see how it works. And now I have the band scope with the waterfall in the little tablet. So I will explain how to set it up, and there's actually 3 different software from Kenwood that you need to use in order to make this possible. So I will explain step by step installation and configuration on those software, and I will explain what they do exactly and why you need them. So let's start. There is a few software for the Kenwood TS-990 which is free from Kenwood, so that's a good news. And it took me a little while just to understand which software is doing what. So you will have to download a few software, but let me show you here on my start menu. You will see the Kenwood software is the ARCP-990, which is the software, the actually visual for the radio control. You will have the ARHP-990, which is a host program for the PC hosting the remote software. I'll explain later on why. You also have the ARVP, which is the software which has 2 types. The first one is the host, and the other one is the receiver ends. So this I will explain later on. So when you download it, you unzip the package. You will have actually 3 software because the ARVP-10 will have both the host and the remote server in the same software. So that's what you need to do. You go on the Kenwood website and you can download from there. Also, I did find this resource page for the TS-990, which is great. There is a lot of documentation here, and you know, it's very well explained, very well made. It's not signed by any amateur, but thanks to the one who made this possible. So I will put up the link in the bottom in the comments, so if you want to go there. But this is a great resource page that you should bookmark right away if you own the TS-990. Okay, so first thing, if you look at the software, the ARCP-990, my rig has a direct IP connection. So I will show you how the remote software works. You can use the COM port, you can use the remote LAN, and from what I see, if you see here, you have my TS-990 remote software. And you see all the function are there and everything. Something's very cool is you can have, hold on a second, I need to hold on, I just want to show you the waterfall that is working with it. Just has to, okay, so I'll have the band scope. Hold on, it opens on my other, so I will put the waterfall. So you see the waterfall there. So you can have it on the remote software, which is pretty cool. And now I'm using, I'm connected through the LAN. I'm connected to the TS-990 via the LAN. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to disconnect. Look at the speed of the waterfall. Okay. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to disconnect. I'm going to disconnect from the software. Okay, so this will close. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try to connect just to show you with the COM port. You will see the effects on the waterfall. So hold on a second. So we need to connect. Settings. We'll go to the connection from here. It's at 115 200 baud rate. So okay, I will connect now. Okay, now I'm connected. You see it's a little bit slower. And I'm gonna go to the band scope again and look at the speed. So if you're connected through the COM port, you will not be able to use the band the band waterfall and the spectrum scope. See how it's slow. So this is not very good. So I will close that. I will go back. I will unconnect. I will go to the setting again, and I'll go back to the LAN COM port. The LAN connection. I will connect again. See, it's pretty much faster. So that's one thing that I noticed. So it's preferable to use the LAN, okay, for a connection. So that's the mainly. I won't go through the all the function because it's mainly the same thing that you get on a radio, but you need to get familiar with. But what I'm gonna do is try to show you how to set up the remote station. So if you are connected with the ARCP-990 directly on the TS-990 on the remote PC and try to connect remote, it will say it's busy. It's already someone's connected. So you only run that on the remote end. You don't run that on the host station. Why do you need a host station? Now I was connected directly on this PC. I was connected directly to the radio via IP. But if you want to have the voice and you want the audio from, so you need to set up the software, the host software. Now I'm connecting the host software, the ARHP-990. You connect the host software to your radio. So if you go on the settings here, you'll see it's LAN connection. So it has my LAN IP, password, and everything, because you need to set up. It's always the same. You need to set up here your password and your admin name to connect to the radio with the IP address. So if you can reserve the DHCP address for your Kenwood TS-990, if you're not able to do so, just make sure it's a static IP so it won't change in your LAN. You also need to do port forwarding through your firewall and also to your PC firewall if you have one. So this, I have the remote host software connected, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to open the voice software. So hold on, that's the setup. I'll go back here, go all application, go to Kenwood. Hold on a second. Go to Kenwood. Okay, so I'm gonna do the host for the voice. Okay, so I'm gonna do here. You have mainly the same connection. There's the port you need to listen to that you need to do the port forwarding. I will do some video about this in the future about port forwarding, IP, the basics for AM radio operators, so you'll be able to make those things works, which it could be overwhelmed for some people. So what you have here is mainly always the same setting with the same password that I use. And now I'm going to put it online. My setup is made so I can do remote. So what I'm going to have to do, instead of connecting the ARCP-990 to my TS-990 directly, I will connect to this machine, to this PC address. And this PC is connected to the TS-990 and will also provide the voice connection because the USB port of the TS-990 is connected on my TS-990. So it will take that as a sound card and bring you the sound, and you can also transmit from a remote station. So the next step, I will show you my tablet, how to connect and how to do the rest. Now is the setup step by step for your remote operation with your TS-990. First, we'll go through the Kenwood KNS software. After that, the radio setup. And then we'll go through a diagram which shows how to set up your LAN remote setup, which is a local area network. That's mean to make it work within your house in any room with any PC. And then we will show you how to configure the host PC and the remote PC. I strongly suggest when you do this, when this is working, and then you address the WAN. The WAN is how to use it remote, but outside your house. That means over the internet. WAN is for wide area network. And we will also show the difference in the configuration to use the host PC and the remote PC. Both setup include the use of VoIP. That means voice over IP, so you're able to listen and to transmit from a remote PC. The program you have to download from Kenwood, there's actually 3 programs. The ARCP-990, which is the visual interface that you have, that it actually has all the feature of your radio. That's actually what you see when you operate the radio. The ARHP-990, which is the host program that you install on the host PC. And the VoIP program is actually the ARVP-10, which has 2 programs inside of it. The H for the host and the R for the remote. The ARCP-990 is able to connect directly to the radio's IP, but you won't get any VoIP. And then if you use the ARCP-990 to connect to ARHP host, that means instead of connecting to the IP of the radio, you connect to the IP of your PC in your shack, which acts as a host. And then you'll be able to receive the voice over IP. So this is very important. Unless you are directly in your shack and you want to control your PC with your radio with your PC, you can use this directly to the radio. But if you want to do remote, you need to have a PC connected to the radio. That's very important. The VoIP software is only required for the WAN remote operation. Here's how to set up your radio. The radio actually on mine has a DHCP on, which means that it will get dynamically an IP address from my router. What I did when I first plug it in, you see I got the 127, the IP here. That is actually where you get your IP of the radio, and that you will be needed to connect to the radio from the host PC. And if you disable the DHCP, you put it to off, you need to enter your IP statically. That means manually. You need to know what you're doing, so to make sure there's no conflict with other IP. This is the ideal thing to do, but then what I did on my side is I just kept the DHCP on, and I just reserve in my router the IP for this MAC address, which is the radio. So if you're not familiar with this, maybe doing remote is it could be overwhelmed. So if you stay and you connect to my YouTube channel, you will see in the future I will explain how to do this and the basics of the IP networking to help you understand and how to configure this. Or you can have someone around you that can do it if you're not able to do so. Okay, in your LAN, here's the diagram that I took from the Kenwood setting manual, the KNS setting manual, but I just modifying it just to show you in your LAN how to, which software need to be installed and where. So this is actually the IP address of my remote PC. This is the IP address from my radio that you just saw earlier, and this is the IP address of my host station, which is the PC in my shack. The PC is connected through the USB port in the back, which get the audio from, and is connected to IP as well to the radio. So in your LAN, the only 2 software you need is the host software on the host PC, which is the ARHP-990, and on the remote end, you just need the ARCP-990. So here's how to set up the host PC. So the software on the host PC, which is the ARHP-990, you need to go to Tool and then to Setup, and you just connect through the LAN to your TS-990. Then you click Settings. When you click Settings, you will have this window here. You just click Add. And what I did, you can use the same if you want. I did the TS-990. and I enter my radio IP address and my administrator ID that I entered previously to my radio, and the password. I'll just go back to the radio just to show you, just quick. You need to enter your call sign. Well, I use my call sign. You can use whatever you want, but this is going to be needed to connect furthermore. And you need to enter an administrative password. I strongly suggest that you use the same ID and password everywhere in those software, because there's a lot of place to set it up, just to make sure that you don't get confused which one it is. So here I just enter exactly as I enter in my radio. After that, you go in the setting again in the ARHP-990 on the host PC, and you select your device input output, which should be the USB port, which is detected when you connect the USB port in back of your radio to your PC. You need also to install the most recent drivers for it. So this is something I do not cover, but if you go in your control panel and you unplug your PC and plug it in, you will see which device is detected and what is its name, so you are able to use it in your software. And then you need to configure your KNS, and when you configure your KNS, it's important to click VoIP. If you want to use it in your LAN, you don't need to use the VoIP software. You have integrated VoIP directly in the remote control software, but that only works in the LAN. That as specified by Kenwood here in red, to tell you that it's only working in the LAN. By default, it's unclicked. If you use it in your LAN only, you just click it. Then you click configure KNS user and you add a user, and I use the same user and password as before. After that, you go to the remote PC and you go to you open the ARCP-990 and you go to settings, and you need to configure settings and configure VoIP. So let's start with setting. In the setting, you use KNS network command as well. Okay, and you click setting here. You just add, and then you fill it in. I call it home. I put my host PC IP address. I click use VoIP. That's only for the LAN setup, like I mentioned. And you put your username and password. So you also need to set up, if you want to do voice and speaker, actually input-output audio on the remote PC as well. So I'll just go back to show you. The only thing you need to do after that is to connect here, and you will connect to your PC via the remote PC. Sorry, to your radio via the remote PC. Now the WAN setup. You know, here the only difference you'll see is you cannot use the integrated VoIP into the ARCP-990 and ARHP-990, which only work in the LAN like I just showed you. So you will need to unclick it to use it in the WAN. The WAN, it's outside your network. So you need to have the ARVP VoIP software, which is the remote on the remote end, and on the host version. Okay. You also need in your firewall to do some port forwarding. Sometimes this is called virtual server as well. So you need to look for your type of router, what you need to do to configure the port forwarding. On the host PC now, you still have the ARHP-990, which you already has configured, and you have the ARVP-10H you need to install. Okay. The first software is the ARHP-990. The only difference is you go to setting into the KNS and you click the use VoIP, because you cannot use it through the WAN. And then you configure the voice software, and by just setting up and adding a user. Simple as that. And then you go to the remote PC. On the remote PC, there will be changes in the IP address. But you need to install, you still have the ARCP-990, but you need to install the ARVP-10R, which is the VoIP remote software. So once again, you go in the setting, and you go in the KNS, and you just edit the one you create, or you can create another profile, which will be, let's say you just click add and you say remote WAN,
and then you add a public IP address, a dynamic DNS address, or something, well, actually the public IP to get connected from the outside world. You unclick the VoIP use as well. And then in the ARVP-10R, you will actually add another connection or just edit the one if you want. And you can add the one that's external or WAN connection. And you'll replace the IP address here with your public IP address. And then you will need to configure username password as well. So that's about it. So this should work. Oh, maybe just concluding, you just click connect and it will connect to your host software remotely. You will see the LED there changing to green and red, and here connect again to connect the radio. So if you have any question, you can visit my forum at va2pv.com/forum you see here, and there's a section for the TS-990.
So this concludes my video. I hope you enjoy. I hope this will help you guys to set up your remote control station for the TS-990. If you have any question, you can visit my website, which is victoralpha2papavictor.com. There's also a forum there where we can exchange together if you have any question. Also, you can visit Laboenligne.ca website where there is a complete review about the TS-990. So for now, I will say 73 and goodbye.